guess what? It's time for another Life Downloaded. Now, I'm not going to lie. Right now, we're having a few technical issues. So if there's issues with sound, you guys are going to have to let me know. But otherwise, I am joined on screen by two wondrous people. Two wondrous people. I am joined, as always, by my lovely podwife, the lovely Samantha Rank. Say hi, Sam.
Well, hello, good evening. It's way past my bedtime, so I've got the vodka to keep me awake. So we should be fine for an hour or so.
Vodka to keep you awake. That's a concept right there.
Don't judge me. Don't judge.
No judgment.
We're in a pandemic.
We are. And down below me, because I can see...
Oh, hello.
I know, right? Not any...
Tell me about this.
You know, it's no measure of importance. But down below me is stand-up comedian extraordinaire, runner of a comedy night that involves a pug, but my brain's gone completely blank because it's one of those evenings. I'm sure he'll tell us about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Matty Oxley. Welcome to Life Downloaded, Matt.
Hello, thank you for having me, guys.
No.
Well,
Thank you for joining us. I know we've wanted to make this happen for some time, but as I recently just said, we are in a pandemic and everything just goes a bit tits up. So I'm just glad that we've all got together. I look very naked. I promise I've got trousers on.
You do have trousers on while drinking vodka.
Myself, but I was like, ooh, look very naked.
Yeah, skin's out.
Any sort of nudity reference from me, Matty, so you just need to just bear with. But thank you, Matty. It's great to have you because we've been chatting online for a while, haven't we? On the old Instagram for a bit, and I just thought you'd be a fantastic person to just get on and have a bit of a natter and kind of talk about comedy and disability, I suppose. But I think first of all, I kind of want to ask, like, how has lockdown been for you? Because I know that we've all had our little stories to tell, and even though a lot of people think that this pandemic's over, I'm still shielding. I only left the house yesterday for a hospital appointment, so there's many of us who are just still, taking it easy and being very mindful. So how has it been for you? And has there been any kind of upsides to be in lockdown, or has it all been pretty shit? Oh, mine's gone.
He's the one. And we've lost him. Brilliant.
So I think we should just give up tonight and just start again.
It's going to be one of those episodes for sure.
That's fine.
He's back. He's back. Hello, Matty. Welcome back.
what happened there?
Don't know, mate. Don't know.
Matty.
I was like, that cannot be me. That has got to be Dan.
No, that was definitely you, good sir. I won't take the blame for that one.
I think it's just my phone.
And the thing was, you were looking at me so intensely that I thought that you were like really concentrating. So I'm just talking away, and you bloody froze. And I thought, he's really listening to me.
You were frozen, and I thought, I'll carry on, keep going on with the show, and you were going on and on and on. And I thought, when do I jump in here? And then just froze and shut down. So I thought, oh God, not good. Right. I'm back.
But you see, if nothing else, this is proof that Life Downloaded is 100% live. Right? Live. Live, uncensored, and all a bit crazy. But...
Well, I've got half your question, so...
Right, okay, what half did you get?
Lockdown, how's it been for me? You've been shielding, hospital?
Yeah, so, lockdown, I just kind of want to know, has anything like funny come out of it? Has there been anything that you thought, you know what, I'm actually quite glad that I've had like a couple of months just to kind of get chilling and get to grips with me and doing a bit of self-care? Because I tell you, when I was shielding at my mum's, I really invested in my social media, and I really invested in painting my nails every day and doing like some nice things for me. And then I've come back to London, even though work isn't busy necessarily. I don't know what it is. I'm all over the place, and I'm like, I just don't have time to do shit. Like, literally, I mean, like, my hair, this is coconut. I've not washed it in about a week. It's coconut oil, which is not a good look, and it smells a bit funky too. So I'm wondering, Thank God that you can't smell it. But I'm wondering, has anything you thought, I know it's a crazy pandemic, but I've been able to work on myself. Things are, it's not been too bad. Or has it all been shit?
No, I've adapted quite well to it. That hasn't really bothered me. I don't mind spending time in my own company or the family's company. That doesn't bother me. Shielding wise, I mean, I shielded for the first bit, like for the first like hardcore lockdown when everyone was like scared but like as it's eased, I've been going out like social distance walking and walking the dogs and meeting up with my brother and my sister-in-law and a girlfriend and stuff like that. So that's been going, yeah, it's been going all right. But yeah, I suppose being in the lockdown situation, you do get to have the opportunity to reassess the situation, reassess your life, what you're doing, are you doing what you want to do, and try and think of extra goals that you can achieve. But I say that, but I didn't write any goals down. I haven't achieved anything in lockdown other than a few stone and some Netflix series. But yeah, it's been fine. I mean, I think the world's gone crazy, but you just got to go crazy with it, haven't you, unfortunately? It's just got to go with the punches and just keep it out, heads down, and just soldier on, so to speak.
And obviously, you are a comedian. Have you been able to write some new material?
Well, this is it, right? Even though I'm a comedian, right, I'm horrendous for writing stuff down. I think of stuff on the spot, and then like I won't have a pen or paper. I'll have my phone on me, but I just won't write it down. And then like I'll come to the point where I need to write some new material. I think, what was I laughing at the other day? I just can't remember. Can't remember for the life of it. So I'm horrendous. But I have a few stories and a few things have come out through lockdown that I'm going to incorporate into the new set and stuff next year. So the worst thing is when comedy gets back on running, because obviously it's going to be a low point at the moment. When it gets back on running, people are doing the comedy stars and the comedy shows. Everyone's going to be talking about this, and everyone's going to be talking about lockdown. Everyone's going to be talking about coronavirus. So I was trying to think of things that people possibly won't say or possibly won't think it's funny. So it's quite hard, you know. It's quite hard being a comedian.
Oh, definitely. Like, it's one of those things, and I bet you always get asked, and I'm going to ask the question because it's like...
Don't you say.
Standard comedian question 101. When did you discover that you were funny? Matt, when did it happen?
Well, I knew I was funny looking when I looked in the mirror.
Well, there you go. You said that, not me.
Well, I think funny, just when you're at school with the lads and like in the social groups that you're with and everyone's laughing and joking and having a bit of banter. And I've always been passionate and had an interest in comedy and like old comedians when I was younger, watching people like Jerry Lewis from America and Lee Evans and stuff like that. So I've always had a goal in mind that I wanted to be a comedian. So about 2 years ago, I thought I'd bite the bullet and give it a go. And here I am on the best podcast in the world talking about comedy.
Oh, see, you can come again with a statement like that. You can definitely...
I flipped him a tenner earlier on.
There you go.
Yeah,
obviously a social distance tenner through online...
PayPal all the way.
PayPal all the way. The other online payment methods are available, obviously.
Hey, no one's sponsoring us, so they can get stuff. I can say whatever I want. As soon as PayPal sponsors us, then you know what I mean? It's fine, I'm allowed to say what I want to say. This isn't the BBC, guys.
Tisn't. Sadly. BBC, if you're listening.
Well, they'll be, yeah. The BBC, we really, really want you to take us on board, so please like us.
Yeah. Please like us very, very much. Thank you.
But you know what? I mean, I'm not a stand-up comedian because, first of all, I can't stand up. But I have got a drive.
There's your first joke. There's your first joke. You know what I mean?
I know exactly, but it's a bit.
Get yourself on the
lame
stage.
joke. Bit of a shit joke.
Big jokes work though, don't they?
Oh, I know. But I mean, I've got good bands, as they say in Essex, and I'm a little bit like you. Like I don't premeditate what comes out of my mouth when it's funny. It just comes out, and I'm like, oh God, people are laughing at that. Oh, that was quite witty, and I internally give myself a pat on the back and go, oh, you're quite clever, aren't you, Sam? And a few people have said to me, why don't you try comedy? And I've just bottled it. Like, just, I'd have to get absolutely plastered. And then, God knows what will happen, basically. But comedy comedy is, when you have a disability, comedy is something that a lot of people with disabilities kind of use. And you do have a disability. I hope you don't mind me sharing that with the world.
The shock on his face.
The big reveal.
Secret.
But it is one of the things where I used to use comedy a lot to make other people feel comfortable. You know, so at school or even when I just wrote about it today in my Metro column about pain. Like when I'm in pain, I joke about the time when I fell off the toilet and broke my skull. I joke about, my spinal operation and the fact that they had to like drill holes into my head and, I was on my chest for 12 hours that my boobs ended up being massive because they were swollen or they were black. You know what I mean? Like these are all things that I make light of, very, very dark times. But it's not necessarily for myself, it's for other people so that they don't feel uncomfortable when I say to them, oh, I've broken my leg. And it's shit, but actually, the worst thing is I can't wipe my own arse at the moment. You know what I mean? Like that's the worst thing. It's not the broken leg. So I kind of make light of it.
Yeah.
So how do you, as a comedian, do that fine line? Because actually, do you know what? People should just be fine about disability anyway. Like, we're not here to educate people. We're not here to make people feel better about their ignorance. So how do you, as a comedian, kind of get that balance, I suppose, right? Because do you use disability in your stand-up sketches?
Yeah, I do mention it. But I try not bang on about it. But like sometimes the set does contain quite a lot. Because I always think like when I walk on stage or if I walk in front of a microphone in a pub open mic night, immediately people are staring like at me, and it's like, you know what I mean? You might as well just address it. You might as well just have a laugh with people, try and ease everybody into it. Because, like I've never been on the other side where, like, if you see a disabled person and you've never seen a disabled person before, I don't know what that feels like. I don't know why people are staring. So, like, it's just trying to make people feel relaxed and just, if they're thinking something funny, I might as well say it before they say it kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's the old cliche thing. Do you know what I mean? When you were at school, instead of getting bullied, you were taking the mick out yourself and blah, 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 blah. So I tried to incorporate that into the stand-up comedy, and it's going really well.
Good. I like it. Well. Tell us a little bit about how do you get into comedy, like professionally, and I suppose like what are your goals? What is your 5-year plan? Like where do you see yourself? I don't know why I went American.
Yeah, do.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5
You
years.
look at an actor. Look at the skills. Oh, they're great.
Yeah. Employ her, BBC.
Shut up, Dan. We didn't ask you.
Oh.
You messed up the technology. You're out of this today, lad. Just sit there and look pretty.
There he goes on his gaming chair.
I know, right?
My extremely squeaky gaming chair that really needs sorting.
Can you stop wiggling and moving?
I know,
breathing?
right?
Stop.
Or breathing.
Or breathing.
You said that, not me. I'm just reiterating what you said.
Can we please let Matty answer the question?
Oh yeah.
He's gone all Baywatch slow motion on us.
Oh, Bruno.
There you go. He's back.
How about come? Oh dear.
Oh, you're back.
We're back. We're all right. So yeah, I'm back. So at college and university, I did the thing that would get me my Oscar-winning performance. I did acting at college and uni, and I spent like 2 or 3 years doing it, thinking I'm going to be on EastEnders and all that. And obviously, after I finished college and university, I was straight to McDonald's and realised shit's not happening.
Yeah. But hey, free burgers.
Free burgers, free chicken nuggets. I like it.
Winning.
So after that, I don't know. I probably around about the age of 21. I always wanted to get into stand comedy, but like you were saying, Samantha, it's like biting the bullet, and like literally like when you're on stage, like it's a weird thing to say, but you're completely like naked, senseless. Do you know what I mean? Like you're so open. You can say anything. People can say anything to you. You don't know these people. You don't know what they're thinking. So that was the kind of like fear that I had, that if I was ready for it. And look, obviously the material's got to be good to go on stage. And I didn't want to be the typical disabled comedian in terms of like, you know what I mean? Like, I've got a short hand, blah, 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 blah. Same jokes that people have been using for 20 years. I didn't really want to do that. So I took my time. I was just lazy in putting it into action. So about 2 years ago, I thought the only way I can get into the comedy full time is actually make my own comedy night. So I started my own comedy night called the Laughing Pug Comedy Club.
That's the one. I knew there was a small alien-looking dog in there somewhere.
Yeah. I know. So I started Lola, that's it, yeah. That's it. So I started that up, and obviously I used that as a tool to get stage time myself. So I'd compare an MC, and then I'd start doing small 10-minute sets myself at my own gigs, which progressed to doing other people's gigs. So, like, before lockdown started, I was in the process of, like, not touring the UK, but, like, getting more gigs in the UK, going further afield, like Manchester and London and stuff like that, and getting car shares with the other comedians in Middlesbrough that are fabulous, that we all need to get in the car and hit London and show them what we're all about, kind of thing. So the goal is really, I just want to do comedy, which I love, and it's like a passion of mine. I want to do it like full time. Like I want to make a career and make a stable salary out of it, really. I'm in a 9-to-5 job at the moment, which is great. You know, people I work with is fine, but it's not really what I'm passionate about. It's not what I want to do. And I want to use the comedy as well to go into like speaking, like in front of people, to educate young people about disability, disabled people, and just try and just show them that we're all just normal people. You know what I mean? We're all the same as everyone else. We do everything.
Speak for yourself, lad. Speak for yourself. I'm amazing. I'm above average, me.
It's true. I'm just here for the ride. No. No. But yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, you know, I think Sam and I, from doing this for a while now, you do kind of get a platform if you get known for doing your thing in the arts, whether it be, you know, presenting, whether it be stand-up comedy, whether it be acting, whatever we're doing, because we're all multidisciplined people. That's a very posh word for a Tuesday night, isn't it? But, you know, and you will get a platform out of that, hopefully. And, you know, to use that platform for good, as they say, is all part of it.
I like it. I like it.
I know, right? It's like I've done this before. But yeah, no, so that's cool. So it's I've forgotten the name again. Remind me of the name of the
Laughing Pug Comedy Club.
Laughing Pug. I keep wanting to say Little Pug, you see, because I've got the pug in front of me. So Laughing Pug. So did the pug come from your pet Lola?
Well, the pug on it's going to get quite dark here. Right?
Okay.
I'll warn you. Tissues might be needed. So the pug on the poster and the banner or the logo is my first pug that I had about 10 years ago now.
Okay.
And that was called Charlie. So that's the first pug that we had.
Charlie, right?
Yeah. Charlie in heaven.
He is.
Oh.
So you're a long-term pug owner. That's good to know.
Yes, we've had 3 altogether. We've got Lola left now. So Lola's asleep and snoring somewhere in the house, so she's left.
Fair enough. Yeah. That's going to get confusing for me because that's Lola the dog and Lola the cat. That's just.
She's a sphinx. She's not a cat.
Sphinx are cats, I believe.
Well, I don't know. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
They are cats, though, aren't they?
They're not.
I think they are alien beings sent down to us. To be quite honest with you, and that is not the vodka talking. That is just fact. So it's really interesting because I know a lot of people ask me how do I get into the industry, so difficult, and they kind of ask me what my top tips would be. So I suppose for anyone, particularly who may have a disability, what would be your advice to getting into stand-up comedy? Because I always say overcome your fear. Yeah, I've never done a stand-up performance, even though people have said you'd be amazing at it. So I rise above a lot of my fears, and that's why I would say maybe I am successful in my own right. But there are still certain areas that I'm like, oh my god, I can't do it, I can't do it. So I suppose for comedy, what would you say, particularly for younger people with disabilities who are like, I want a proper crack at that. What would your advice be, Matty?
My advice would be, like, don't get me wrong, it is hard and it is stressful. And like, there's been some times I've been waiting to go on stage, and like I don't want to go on because like anxiety gets to you and you're petrified and people don't like it, people not going to like it. But I'll tell you now, right? As soon as you're on stage and people start laughing, like it's the best feeling in the world. So even though it took me years to pluck the courage to go and do stand-up comedy, if anybody wants to do stand-up comedy, even just like try it or for one night, honestly, just do it. Just write something down. Even go on stage with a piece of paper. Just go and do it, because honestly, it's the best rush you'll ever have. Unless you're drinking vodka out of a pink cup on a Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. There she is.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I had a hard day yesterday. I deserve to drink my body weight in whatever I want to drink.
You growl with your tie.
The old cliche, just do it. You know what I mean? Just life's too short, and
well, minute. You know what? I've not been drinking. So all through lockdown, I had about 2 drinks, and ever since coming back to London, just because it's been pretty challenging for me in a lot of ways. Not saying that I'm using alcohol as a crutch, but I'm just having one bit, like, if I'm just feeling a bit like anxious, I'll have one drink just to kind of chill me out, which is probably not the best way, but I'm always that person that says if you need to do something, as long as it's like short term and you recognise that it's short term, then crack on. If it kind of helps you for that, that kind of short period, then do whatever you want. It's just when it becomes habitual, then you're a bit like frickin' heck.
See,
we're
chucking out the big words on a Tuesday night. Habitual. There you go. See.
I really like the word habitual.
We're definitely digging into the dictionary. Discombobulated is always a good word.
Love it. Favourite word ever.
So, Matty, look, you've said you've said just do it, just go and be a stand-up comedian. Now that's great, and I'm all for positivity. But I know as somebody that's done things that a lot of people think disabled people shouldn't do, and a lot of people think people shouldn't do, all law-abiding and so on and so forth. But, people have challenged me going, should you really be doing that? Come on, do something else. Is that really what you want to do? Amongst all your positivity, have you ever had to battle that with stand-up sets?
But if I did, I'd just tell them to F off, basically. Fair. I'd just be like, it wouldn't bother me. I haven't personally had that, but I can imagine some people will have done. But me, touch wood, nothing yet.
Nah, that's obviously A, testament to you, and B, testament to your comedy. Yep, and we've got people that are watching us live, mentioning other stand-up comedians like Francesca Martinez and Lost Voice Guy. So you are in good company, Jack Carroll. So you're in good company, and no doubt. See, we should just get a set with everybody together. Lost Voice Guy, Rosie Jones, yourself, Francesca Martinez. Just get everybody in on it and just boss it. I like
it.
Yeah.
Get working on it, Dan.
Yeah, you should totally make it happen, because I actually was speaking to my agent, Andrew Roach, earlier today. Hi, Andrew, if you're watching. Normally
he dips in and out, doesn't he?
He really did, but he was saying that, there was another show, comedy sketch. I've forgotten what network it was on, so I'm not gonna say it incorrectly, because I don't want to, kind of go shame on you when it wasn't them. But there was another comedy program being released or commissioned, and again, they don't have any deaf or disabled artists. And I definitely feel, the struggle is real for any creative with a disability. But I feel like the comedy seems to be like another barrier on top of it. It's that whole dilemma of, can you actually laugh about disability? Because some people, it's that addressing that elephant in the room, and I get that. And some people really appreciate that because they do feel uncomfortable. But then some people are the complete opposite, and they're like, no, that's something that should never be, kind of taking the mickey out of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think there is definitely a fine line when you talk about disability. There's definitely some taboo areas, like you don't, sexual assault. You don't talk about, there's certain areas that are like no, like even comedians are a bit like and you could completely alienate a big section of your, kind of demographic, your people that come to watch you because of that. And I think that's maybe the reason, because as a society we just still don't feel comfortable around disability, and it's that whole thing of, well, that's not our issue because we're pretty all right with ourselves. You know what I mean? I don't. I'm in my 30s now. We're all in our 30s, aren't we now? And we're all a bit like, hey, this is us, take it or leave it. You know what I mean? So I think it's more other people's attitude. So I would never hold back just because someone else feels uncomfortable because of their, well, let's say it is, because of their narrow-mindedness and their ignorance towards understanding how other people live. There was a question in there, or wasn't that just a rant? No, but I suppose what we're saying is, I think, disabled comedians really have a hard time at it, and we should definitely get you all together and pitch something.
I mean, I think the crazy thing is, like, even though you said like the disabled comedians have a hard time, like if you go to like proper comedy clubs and comedy nights, like there's loads of disabled comedians, like loads of funny people out there that like should be getting like the shining light, should be getting the stage time.
Completely. I mean, I'm not saying there's not the talent, but
I know you're not saying that. Yeah.
Break, like to get that recognition, to get that platform. I think that's where the disconnect is.
Yeah.
And of course the other issue is from a disability perspective. I don't know how mobile you are. Looking at you, Matty, you're quite mobile. You're like me. I don't know if you're a part-time wheelchair user. I am. But it's for a lot of comedy clubs. They're not accessible. Like
some aren't. No, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's partly the genius of you setting up your own night. The venue's going to be accessible.
yeah, true, yeah.
So
that has helped, because I've had an artist on before that had to need a wheelchair, so we did make sure the venue was wheelchair accessible.
Indeed.
So, and even the stage in the area.
There you go. You see, and you as a disabled comedian running your own comedy nights means that's at the forefront. As for a lot of venues, it's not. They're working men's clubs that have been there for God knows how long. That go, well, you can come through the trade door and up the trade lift, and we'll carry you up the stairs. So, you leading it. Maybe we should try and start a social media campaign, getting all the top-notch disabled comedians, including yourself, to all appear at one of your comedy nights and make a big thing of it.
Oh, look at that, Sam.
See?
I knew there was a reason I came on here. I knew.
There you go. We can work at it. Or I'll just put Scope, obviously, do joke for Scope. Maybe we just need to make sure all the talent on joke for Scope is literally disabled talent, flat out.
Has anyone got any questions for Matty? Anyone that's tuning in?
Oh dear.
Yeah, see, it's live. You never know what's going to come. Yeah, somebody says comedy's now gone on Zoom or other social media, which has made it more accessible. It's a valid shout. More.
Yeah.
Have you done any gigs on Zoom, Matty? This is the question.
Me, I haven't yet.
See?
No.
Maybe you should do a virtual pug.
Yeah. I haven't. No, I mean, I should have really done, but no, I didn't. And I think that's just down to my own preference. I like to.
Shitness.
Say again.
Your shitness.
My shitness.
Yeah.
My shitness. No, I just like to like. I think it's great that people are doing Zoom gigs and keeping people entertained through lockdown. I think it's great. But like as a performer for myself, I just love like being in front of people. And I know we can't do that yet, so I'd rather just wait till we get the chance to be in front of people and like make people's nights. And I think it's great that people are making people's nights on Zoom and Skype and all that. I think it's great, but at the moment, I've upset her.
You have? She's off.
She's fucked off.
Don't know what's going on, but yeah, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Being a predominantly theatre bod myself, there is nothing quite like having a live audience. Oh, that's where she's disappeared to.
There she is.
Yeah, because in Life Downloaded news, Sam's cats have multiplied.
Bruno!
This is Bruno, everybody. Say hi to Bruno.
He's just woken up and he's crying.
Oh. He's the brand new man in Sam's life. Not quite a man yet, but the brand new man in Sam's life, Bruno.
Brand new lad. Named after my grandpa, Bruno.
Oh, I did wonder where the name came from. So there you go. I've now learned.
It's only because my mum didn't want me to get another cat, and I did. And so I thought if I named it after her father, who's no longer with us,
it would soften the blow.
Might soften the blow.
Good plan.
I like it.
Indeed. Now, Aaron, who's one of our regular watchers here on Life Downloaded Live, says, how do you handle hecklers and those that have disability stereotypes?
General hecklers, I tell you now, right, I sometimes crumble. Because you got to be thick. You got to be thick-skinned and you got to be quick. And sometimes, like if you're in a working men's club and someone heckles out, like, you've just got to be, like, on the ball. And if you're not, there's no point saying anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You might as well just try and ignore it. But, like, heckling does happen. Most established comedy clubs try and encourage the audience not to heckle. But it does happen, and it's just part and parcel of the job. I've never had anyone shout anything derogative or nasty to me. But it might happen, Dan. It might happen. Just got to be prepared for it, I suppose.
Indeed. Gotta have those jokes in your arsenal, I suppose, just in case it comes up. And then Aaron also asked, do you feel that you're able to turn...
Sorry.
Sam's in and out like a fiddler's elbow this evening.
The baby needed feeding.
The baby needed feeding. See, the joys of cat parenthood.
That's priority.
But yeah, Aaron also asked, do you feel that through your stand-up comedy, you've been able to change some people's opinions in terms of disability and stuff like that?
I'd like to think so. I mean, no one's actually come up to me personally and said anything. But I think the majority of people out there, like, I like with everyone, like, if someone's disabled, there's nothing different. Do you know what I mean? They just look different. Doesn't mean they can't do anything. So I think most people just accept and admire anybody getting up to do comedy, whether they're disabled or not. So,
yeah.
To answer your question, no.
No, fair play. I think it is one of those things.
I quite like that idea though, because it is. You need some good balls on you to get up and do comedy.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the disability gets taken out of, or whether you're female or whether you know what I mean, whether you're not the typical comedian or whatever that looks like. But if you are a bit different, I suppose people just respect you because actually they know that they couldn't do it, irrespective of your gender, your disability, your ethnicity. So yeah, I quite like that. I think it does give you just that little bit of right. Well, you know what? I can do it, but you can't. So screw you.
Yeah, and the best thing about comedy nights is like the whole comedians are like all one team. Well, majority of comedians are anyway. Like everyone's the same team. So when you're in the green room or you're backstage, like everyone's for everyone. Everyone wants to make sure everyone does well. And if someone has a bad night, it's just a bad night. It doesn't mean you're not funny. It's just I say that, but sometimes it's just a bad night at the office kind of thing. So
yeah.
What do you do when that happens? When it's just silent? Because there's always people that just won't get you.
Yeah, well, I've had that a few times. Like some of my jokes like just fall flat on the ass, and it's just like, oh, it's gonna be a long 10 minutes. But like you just keep going and just have fun. That's what I try and do. If I'm dying on my ass in front of the mic, just either enjoy it or just make sure they try and enjoy as much as they can. But like you're right, not everyone's gonna find me funny. Not everyone finds all the comedians I like funny. It's just like comedy's so subjective that it's just the best thing about comedy nights is you don't know what you're going to get.
No, that's very true.
You don't know who's going to come on the mic next. You don't know what they're going to look like. You don't know what they're going to talk like. You don't know if they're going to be dressed up, not dressed up. And that's the best thing. That's what I think the best thing about comedy is. But dying on your ass is horrible. But you just got to suck it up and just finish the time, or run off stage and not get paid.
Have you ever done that?
What, run off stage? I haven't run off stage, but I've cut time on my own nights. So an own night that I've ran, like when I was really starting off early, and like I was like bigging myself up. I said, I can do 5 minutes. I can easy 5 minutes. And like you get out there and you do your whole set, and you look at your watch, and like 30 seconds have gone, and you're like, fucking hell.
See that?
Everyone's just looking at you, and everyone's like, I paid money for you to make me laugh, and it's just like you've got nothing left, and it's just like, good night, and just walk off kind of thing.
That's like me when I try and write a monologue. I think like it's this Shakespearean fucking, 5-hour performance, and like I make like 1 minute 30 normally. I'm like, that's it, I can't remember anymore, that'll do.
But you see, that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't think about when it comes to stand-up comedy, is there's actually a real skill in time management. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
And like, I've just thought about it now, so I'm sure like the general public don't necessarily think about it. In my other career as a pro wrestler, I'm used to filling a wrestling match for 5 minutes. Did you not know, Matty?
What's all this about? When it... changing the podcast here, like. That's
So,
what you're talking here, son.
it's all right. The people of the podcast know that I'm a wrestler. It comes up regularly, but we'll have a conversation afterwards. But yeah, I'm used to working a wrestling match for however long I need to work a wrestling match for. But I've never thought of comedy in the same vein. Yeah,
Performance, isn't it?
yeah, and it's a case of, you I suppose you've got 3-minute sets, 5-minute sets, 10-minute sets, and a 20-minute set, and you chop and change accordingly.
Yeah.
Fair play. No, it's just something I hadn't thought about. Now, what I'm interested in, though, is you said you just started touring a bit more and going to different parts of the country before Corona.
I say touring is just like a glamorous thing.
Well,
I'm
no.
literally in Nissan Micra with 2 other comedians.
Oh, yeah, like, I understand that completely.
Yeah, we know you're not Beyonce. Alright, come on.
Not yet.
If you
But
like
yeah,
it...
just kind of like spread my wing, so to speak, and then just try and meet different people, connect more with different comedians, and
But
like the whole comedy community is just so massive, and just there's so much potential out there for everyone to have such a good time and make people's evenings that I just want to try and get involved more and try and not upset people on the way.
Totally, and that's what it's all about. But my question is, have you noticed, as you've gone to different places, that people's sense of humour changes?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Northerners.
Absolutely.
So,
but like sometimes that's a good thing, because I always think, like I'm from Middlesbrough, so like if people in Middlesbrough find me funny, that is great. But like you need to find out if you're actually funny. So you need to go out the area and you need to test your material in front of people from Liverpool, from Manchester, from London, just to I don't know, there's no point just being the funny man in Middlesbrough, is there?
No, that's very true. Now, have you found that there's an area with tougher crowds than anywhere else?
At the moment, probably not,
Well, there you go.
No.
See, that's testament to your skill there, Matty.
You reckon? You think that's what it is?
I reckon so, because,
Either that, or I just enjoy the 2 minutes and then just walk off without getting paid. I don't know, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've had an area where there's been quite... No, sometimes like certain nights, so if you go to a comedy club, but if you go to a night in a pub that's got food on the go, or got like a live band in the middle of the comedy, that's...
Game over.
Telling you
No?
now. Yeah, game over, yeah. You wish you hadn't gone in the car. That's how game over it is.
Because there's too many other distractions, isn't there? It's like...
Yeah. So them nights are hard, but I suppose it's the job, isn't it, that you've got to do.
It is. It's part of the trade.
Yeah.
So, do you have a favourite joke? Not necessarily one of your own, But if you can, it can be one of your own if it's that good. But do you generally have a favourite joke?
A favourite joke? I don't have a favourite joke. Oh shit! I don't have a favourite joke. But, I wouldn't say I have a favourite joke, but I have a favourite style of comedy.
Okay.
So I love physical comedy. So I love like Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, and like Jim Carrey when he was very physical in the early days. I love that type of comedy. So like if I'm watching someone do that type of stuff, then like I'm just in awe of all that, because like sometimes it's quite hard to convey comedy without saying anything, and just. So I wouldn't say I have a favourite joke. I probably do, but like you put me on the spot, Dan. That wasn't on the notes. I mean,
We're live. We're live.
That wasn't on the notes, and you being arrested wasn't on the notes.
Hey, none of our guests get free questions, so you're extremely lucky.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I thought you'd throw me under the bus, that's why. Just be there at 10 to 6, Matty. That was all it was. Be there at 10 to 6. Beware.
Sorry, but that wasn't too difficult. You can always like tweet about it later.
Yeah.
Or put it on Instagram. So speaking of social media, because normally this podcast is run by my bladder, and because I've just downed that vodka, I really need to go to the loo in a minute. So before we go, where can people find you? Where can people add you? Where can people drop you a DM if they're interested in coming to one of your events or just getting into comedy themselves?
Probably just dropping a message either on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And it's just the Laughing Pug Comedy Club on Facebook, and it's the Laughing Pug Comedy 1 on Twitter and Instagram, I think.
There you go.
And when are you going to be, I mean, obviously we can't say for certain, but when do you think you're going to be up and about and think, where are you going to be going next? So if you know, kind of COVID pisses off, where are you going to be starting, and where are you planning to head to?
I'd probably just, because I've got some new material, I'd probably just start local first, just to get the new material out, and then probably go from there. I always think it's nice to, if you've got new material, always try and do it on a home turf, and then it's not as brutal, and the drive home's not as bad.
It's all about that. It's all about that drive home. Trust me, I know.
Of course it is. Absolutely. No one McDonald's isn't it, alright?
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure, Matty. Thank you for
No, thank you.
Gem. I've thoroughly enjoyed having you on, and we'll definitely get you back.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and you have to come down to London when when everything's calmed down. And yes, thank you everyone who joined us today. I know we've not done one for a while. Shame on us. We will be better hosts, and we will make sure that we come back with some more amazing Life Downloaded, and Dan will get his computer.
I will get the technology sorted. Yes, new computers mean dodgy tech problems, but we got it out. We're live. We've done this episode. I'll get it all sorted by next one. Remember to check out the Laughing Pug Comedy Club. Remember to check out Matty on all the social medias. And yeah, stick around, guys, and we'll see you next episode. Listen to the old episodes on all the usual channels. And we'll catch you soon, because Sam, as always, needs to go pee. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.